Shay. Talk about the game plan. We got a good update from Matthias on Jeremy Abovisi and his health situation, which clearly I think is the biggest concern for everyone tonight. But setting that aside, talk about what the game plan was tonight. You're against a team that plays three in the back. Typically, you guys like to use the wingers to take advantage of those types of matchup situations, but it didn't really feel like you were able to get that type of advantage tonight. Was that a big part of the game plan, and did things just not work out in that way? How do you see it from your perspective as one of the wingers? Thanks.
Yeah, it's tough. The game changes a ton when Jeremy goes out. He's a very different player than Cade, and so the game plan kind of changes. Jeremy's a hold-up player, lays it off, and then wide guys can get up the field and get in behind. And Cade's more of a runner, more of the type to run in behind. So the game plan changes when Cade comes in. I think we had a difficult time holding the ball up, which would allow us to transition and get into their final third. So it ended up becoming a more back and forth game, and unfortunately they got us on the counter there at the end.
Thank you, Shea. Next question comes from Fabian Rankel.
Hey Shay, thank you for your time tonight.
Yep.
I want to talk about how the locker room was after this game. How did you feel? How did the players feel? Just an insight in the locker room. Thank you.
Yeah, I think there's two feelings. There's a feeling of frustration knowing this is a big game. Looking at the tables, 3 points would have helped us a ton. A point would have been a little better. So there's a feeling of frustration and disappointment, but we know there's 12 games left. We got a big game against Dallas next week. A lot of games, so these head-to-head West Coast games. So we got to put another run together.
Thank you, Shea. Next question comes from Carlos Eustace.
Shay, I asked this to Matthias, and beyond the result, which obviously is frustrating because of how it happens, and especially at the end, but having Jeremy out and the way it happened, it's also, to me, because the way you guys are, the biggest concern for the team right now, right?
Yeah, I think everyone's worried about Jeremy. I think he's had a serious concussion in the past. I'm not 100% sure what his diagnosis is or what's going on with him now, but I'm praying he's doing well. And as a team, we've faced adversity before, and here we go again.
Thank you. We're going to take two more questions, starting with Michael Roberson.
Okay. All right, Shay. On that crucial turnover at the 89th minute, what exactly happened? We know the pass was kind of off, and then they had a fast break goal. But how frustrating was that? And then, like you said, you guys are in position, only 6 games behind, and then to have this happen at that late stage of the game.
Yeah, I think there were worse turnovers in our own half that Colorado didn't capitalize on. That one just happened to be an unfortunate circumstance that led to a great counterattack and a goal. Our game plan going in was to prevent counterattacks. I think we did that pretty well most of the night, but at the end of the game when we're pushing forward, a mistake happens and they catch us on the counterattack, and that's one of their strengths. So it's an unfortunate turnover that leads to a great counterattack, and if Nathan gets a toe on it or Alanis gets a toe on it like they did 90 other times throughout the game, we're not talking about it. So it's unfortunate, and it happens. And on the other end of that, they finished their counterattack, and we were unable to finish our attack. So. It's a game of inches.
Thank you, Shay. We're going to take one final question from Jamin Moore.
So, Shay mentioned Nathan in there. This is the first loss that he's experienced playing with you guys over the last 10 games. So 10 games unbeaten streak ends tonight. Obviously, in dramatic fashion and unfortunate since you're right below the playoff line here. But one of the things that feels like happened over the last 10 games was some defensive stability. Stability that it doesn't quite feel like translated into offensive success at times. A lot of these games were draws of the 0-0, 1-1 variety. From your perspective as an attacker, what do you see needs to change in order to start seeing more balls go in the back of the net? We saw quite a bit more production against the Galaxy on the road than we've seen in several games, before that, and even this game tonight. What needs to adjustment, or what thing did you do in the Galaxy game that you didn't really get to carry forward tonight? Thanks.
Yeah, I think the Galaxy game, we started to get more comfortable and familiar with Jeremy on the field, finding his feet more often, running off of him. We were doing that well, something we were excited to do again tonight, and unfortunately we weren't able to. So I think we've just got to get used to whoever our number 10, number 9 is up there, running off of them or getting them running in behind. But we still had chances tonight. I mean, I passed up a shot and tried to pass the ball, and that was a dangerous chance. We had Cade get in behind and almost finish one far post, and then at the end of the game, obviously, 2 crosses that are really close to goals. So we're getting chances. We're working on finishing in practice, but my hope is that in one of these games it clicks and we win 4 or 5-0. Let's do that this Saturday.